Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, it's Zainab. Welcome back to my daily reading of Nahjul Balagha. So today I want to read to you Sermon 2, inshallah. It's pretty short. But before I get started, I just want to say that I'm not here to debate with you about how authentic this book is, whether or not there was an authentic chain of narrators since the time that each of these sermons were delivered until the time this book was compiled, or any of those kind of political things. I'm not here to debate those things. I'm just here to read to you the contents of this book, okay? Take it or leave it. I really don't care, but I really want to share the light and the wisdom that is written down in this book, because it is beautiful, and I really do think that we can all learn from it. Nahjul Balagha covers so many different topics in life, such as politics, governance, life and death, religion, love, gender, identity, philosophy, just everything. So it's really interesting. So if you don't want to hear it, go away. It's fine. I don't mind. But I'm just not here to debate with anyone about things like whether all the sermons were actually attributed to Imam Ali originally, and like, I don't know, whatever these ideas you've got from scholars that try and tell you that this book isn't authentic. Anyways, I want to read to you Sermon 2. Okay. This sermon was delivered during the return of Imam Ali from Siffin, and it happened before he was nominated or announced by Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam as his successor, the Caliph, the next Caliph after the Prophet. So I guess Siffin, I'm not sure, Siffin was a battle, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, so it happened after Siffin but before al-Ghadir, and that's my take of what it says here. Anyone can elaborate on that, please do. That'd be great. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I praise Allah, which by itself seeks to perfect His blessings, submitting to His glory, and thus anticipating safety from committing sins. I invoke His help, being in need of His sufficiency of protection. Surely whomsoever He guides does not stray. One with whom He is hostile receives no protection. He whom He supports does not remain in need. Praise is most weighty of all that is weighted, and most valuable of all that is treasured. I testify that there is no God but Allah, the one and only God. None is like Him. My testimony has been tested in its frankness, and its essence shall store it facing the tribulations that overtake us, because it is the foundation stone of belief, or Iman, the first step towards good deeds and the achievement of divine pleasure. It is the means to keep Satan away. I also testify that Muhammad is his prophet. Allah sent him with the illustrious religion, effective emblem, written book, effulgent light, sparkling gleam, and decisive injunctions in order to dispel doubts, present clear proofs, administer warnings through signs, and warn of punishments. At that time, people had fallen into committing vices whereby the rope of religion has broken and the pillars of belief were shaken. The principles were desecrated, the system became topsy-turvy, the openings were narrow, the passage was dark, the guidance was unknown, and the darkness prevailed. Allah was being disobeyed, Satan was given support, and true belief had been forsaken. As a result, the pillars of religion crumbled, its traces could not be discerned, its passages had been destroyed, and its paths had fallen into decay. People obeyed Satan and tread his paths. Okay. They sought water from Satan's watering places. Through them, Satan's emblems flew, and his standard was raised in vices which trampled people under their hoofs and treaded on them with their feet. The vices stood on their toes in full stature, and the people immersed in them were strayed, perplexed, ignorant and seduced as though in a good house. So good house here means the Kaaba in Mecca, while the bad neighbors phrase refers to the unbelieving Qurayshites, the Quraysh. So the good house, ignorant and seduced as though in a good house with bad neighbors. Okay. As though in a good house with bad neighbors. As though in the Kaaba, or at the Kaaba, with the disbelievers of the time. Instead of sleep, they had wakefulness, and for antimony, they had tears in the eyes. They were a land where the learned were in bridle, or keeping their mouths shut, while the ignorant were honored. Whew, sounds a little bit like today. 2024. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds a lot like 2024. Anyways, in the same sermon, Amir al-Mu'mineen, and that's it. It just pauses. The sermon is paused for a minute, and there's a commentary. It says, Amir al-Mu'mineen referred to Ahlul Bayt, alayhi salam, as follows. They are trustees of his secrets, talking about Ahlul Bayt, havens of his affairs, his as in Allah, sources of knowledge about him, centers of his wisdom, valleys of his books, and mountains of his religion. Through them, Allah straightened the bend of religion's backs and removed the trembling of its limbs. And then he speaks about the hypocrites, saying this: they planted vice, watering it with deception, thus harvesting destruction. Nobody in the Islamic community can be the peer of the progeny of the Prophet, so Ahlul Bayt, alayhi salam. One who was under one who was under their obligation cannot be compared with them. They are the foundation of religion, the pillar of the creed. The forerunner has to turn back to them, while the follower has to catch up with them. They possess the characteristics of vicegerency. In their favor exists the will and the succession of the Prophet alayhi salam. This is the time when right returns to its owner, retracting to its right course. And that's it for Sermon 2. Thank you guys so much for listening. Inshallah, tomorrow I'll read Sermon 3. We'll see. Okay, thank you guys. Take care.